Yo, PhillyPhil here. Freedom Unfiltered, episode 8. No bullshit. This is your weekly dose of raw, unfiltered me. This week we have the Patriot Pulse, the Bro Bash, and the Wax and Slab Rab. Real takes straight from my mouth. Buckle up. Episode 8 starts right now. This week on the Patriot Pulse, we're going to talk about what really counts for real Americans. We're diving deep into why fake Christmas trees are total bullshit. Picture this. It's December, the lights are twinkling, and you're staring at a sad, disgusting, fake plastic Christmas tree that looks like it was assembled by a robot with a hangover. That's not a tree. That's a surrender flag to laziness, to globalism, and the death of American grit. Let me sell you on the real deal. Because if you love America, if you love Christmas, you chop it down, you drag it home, and you let it fill your living room with that pine-scented punch of freedom. Fake trees are for quitters. Real Christmas trees? They're the American dream in green form. They're grown by hardworking farmers in the Pacific Northwest. They're harvested by crews who bust their fucking asses in the cold. They're shipped on U.S. highways by truckers who keep this country running. Over 25 million real Christmas trees sold last year. That's 25 million jobs, 25 million families eating because of your holiday hustle. Fake trees? They were made in a Chinese factory by kids for pennies. Which one screams Christmas to you? You walk into a room with a real Christmas tree, and bam, that fresh cut pine hits like a bald eagle on fucking steroids. It's the scent of forests, of family, of the frontier spirit. Fake trees, they smell like dust, despair, and dollar store plastic. You want your kids to remember Christmas as a chemical whiff or the smell of victory over nature? The green crowd, now they love fake Christmas trees because they're quote unquote recyclable. Bullshit. One fake Christmas tree equals 10 yards of PVC plastic. It lasts around 6 years, and then it goes in a landfill for centuries. Real Christmas trees? Carbon sinks during growth. They're biodegradable. And Christmas tree farms plant 2 new ones for every one that's cut down. That's 1 billion real trees grown annually in America. That's oxygen for the nation, jobs for the heartland, and a middle finger to the globalist factories. Your grandparents, they drug a real tree through the fucking snow. They strung lights till their fucking fingers bled, and they made memories that lasted a lifetime. Fake trees, you unbox them, you unfluff them, you plug them in, and you're done in 10 minutes. That's not holiday magic, folks. That's microwave convenience for a generation too soft to swing a fucking axe. You want to build character? Get a real one. You want a virtual signal? Buy the fake shit from Walmart. Every real tree sold in America, for every real tree sold, it pumped over $2.6 billion into the U.S. economy. That's farms in Oregon, North Carolina, and Michigan. It's keeping small towns alive. Fake trees, you ask? Over $500 million worth of them imported from China, sucking jobs out of America. Buy real, and you fund American families. Buy fake, and you're funding the same regime that steals our tech and floods our borders. Now imagine this. You, axe in hand, trudging through a snowy farm, picking the perfect 7-footer. It's not shopping, it's conquering. Drag it home, set it up, watch the needles drop like fucking battle scars. That's the Christmas that your soul truly craves. Raw, real, and rooted in American soil. A fake tree? It's like eating a Denny's turkey plate instead of roasting your own. It's convenient, but it's fucking soulless. Christmas trees symbolize life, renewal, and the evergreen fight against winter's death. A real one lives, it breathes, and it dies with dignity. A fake tree? It's immortal plastic mockery. It's the same crap that chokes our oceans and lines Chinese pockets. If you love America and you love Christmas, love your trees. If you love convenience, love your fake bullshit, but don't call it Christmas. This holiday season, I want you to make the switch. I want you to buy real. I want you to chop deep, and I want you to smell the victory. Because a fake tree isn't just lazy. It's a slap in the face to the farmers, the forests, and the founding fathers who cleared land for a new world. Get a real one, or get the fuck out of Christmas. That's the Patriot Pulse. Let's get into the bro bash. Listen up, you motherfuckers. If you're looking for someone to inspire you, to actually make your lazy ass believe in the American dream, stop scrolling, stop thinking about LeBron, stop thinking about Steph, don't think about Tom Brady, and don't think about Patrick Mahomes. You need to start paying attention to Pat Spencer. Yeah, that's right. Pat Spencer, the fucking lacrosse GOAT, the all-time NCAA Division I career lacrosse assist leader, the dude who dominated one sport so hard and was drafted number 1 in 2019, and people still talk about him. And then he says, you know what? I'm not done. I'm going to switch sports, and I'm going to chase basketball. And I don't mean he dabbled. I don't mean he tried it for fun. I mean, he went straight to Northwestern and into the Big Ten. Power 5 basketball, and he simply put, dominated there. He played real minutes, dropped double-digit points, assists, steals every night, and people still don't get it. Then, hold on to your seats. This motherfucker goes to the G League. He fights through a brutal grind, earns a 2-way contract, and gets onto the floor with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, all those guys. And what does he do? He produces. He scores, he runs the floor, he makes plays, he earns respect. Here's the best part. Steve Kerr looks at him and says, I quote, he's that motherfucker. Not good kid, not solid player, not nice story, that motherfucker. That's a stamp. That's respect. That's acknowledgement from a coach who has seen every kind of superstar nonsense in the NBA. And he's saying Pat Spencer is the real deal. And this is why you should be paying attention. Because he is the literal embodiment of the American dream. Most people talk about it. Most people sit around hoping something drops in their lap. Most people cry, it's too late for me. Not Pat Spencer. That motherfucker didn't just grind, he obliterated expectations. He proved that all the rules, the odds, the haters, all of that is total bullshit. He dominated lacrosse. He switched to basketball. He went from zero hype to NBA contributor. He did it all without excuses, without shortcuts, without a single fucking thing handed to him. And the kicker, he keeps going. He's not done. He's not content. He's not some novelty story. This motherfucker is running pick and rolls for the Warriors, dropping points, racking assists, and grabbing boards. He's making you believe you can do the impossible too. So you're sitting there thinking, I can't. I'm too late. I'm too small. I'm not good enough. Stop. Look at Pat motherfucking Spencer. This dude is proof that the too late crowd are full of shit. That the you can't people are fucking liars. That the odds don't mean a damn thing if you're willing to grind harder than anybody fucking else. This is why he's the inspiration that nobody's talking about, but everybody should. He's the real American dream. Hard work, grit, and belief in yourself. Betting on yourself when the world is laughing, and then fucking winning. Winning so hard that Steve Kerr, a Hall of Fame coach, calls you that motherfucker. Pat Spencer is proof that the life doesn't give a damn about who you were yesterday. Life doesn't care what your background is. Life doesn't care if you were the best at one thing and nobody believes if you can do another. All that matters is what the fuck you do today. Here's the takeaway, and I want you to really listen. Stop waiting for permission. Stop listening to the haters. Stop giving a damn about what's normal. Go bet on yourself. Go grind harder than the motherfucker next to you. Go chase something that's insane, something no one else thinks is possible, and then actually go do it. Pat Spencer didn't just chase it. He caught the motherfucker. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing the greatest example of the American dream alive and breathing right now. So next time you need motivation, don't look at the flashy rookies. Don't look at the celebrities. Look at Pat Spencer, the lacrosse goat turned NBA grinder. The motherfucker who proves that anything is possible if you fight, if you believe, and if you refuse to quit. That, my friends, is the American dream. And that motherfucker just keeps living it. All right. If you want to talk real about what just went down with Notre Dame, strap in, because this wasn't just a snub. It wasn't just a controversial playoff decision. It was a full-blown meltdown. And these motherfuckers deserve to be called out. The facts is that they lost to Miami, they had a weak resume, and now they're skipping out on a fucking bowl game. First, let's remember the scoreboard. Notre Dame went into the season carrying high hopes and swagger, and they finished with a 10-2 record. Fine. Except those two losses. One was a 27-24 loss to Miami. Head-to-head, clean, and fair. That alone puts Miami over the Irish in any rational evaluation. Their other loss to Texas A&M. That's 2 blemishes to 2 playoff teams. Nobody wants to see this again. And yeah, after those losses, Notre Dame did string together 10 straight wins. But let's get real. Most of those wins came against teams that aren't even playoff caliber. Mediocre programs, just heavy padding into the win column. Soft opponents, that resume hardly screams elite at all. So when the college football playoff field came out, guess who the committee picked instead of Notre Dame? That's right, the Hurricanes. Thanks to the head-to-head. And others whose resumes and strength of schedule or late season performances were stronger. Nothing controversial there. Notre Dame didn't have a win like Alabama going into number 3 Georgia and winning. They didn't have wins like that. But here's where it gets pathetic. Instead of swallowing the pill, learning, grinding, and showing up to a bowl and building momentum for next season, Notre Dame did what entitled programs do. They opted out. No bowl appearance, no final tune-up, and no chance for seniors to finish strong. Just, we got screwed and we're done. That's not pride, that's pouting. Notre Dame's better than this. This is a mistake born out of emotion, not principle. Skipping a bowl hurts development for next season, and some players will ultimately regret this. They walked out of the bowl system and into the loving, waiting arms of self-pity. Their bowl skip is nothing more than elitism dressed up as a protest. So, I mean, it's not just armchair smack talk. People deeply embedded into the sport are calling them soft, petty, and tone deaf as well. So let me break this down. They lost to the team you're fighting head-to-head with. That automatically hurts your claim. Most of your wins are against weak teams. That doesn't build a strong resume. And then instead of showing up for a bowl game with free practices and development for next season, momentum and closure, you just decide to walk the fuck away. That's not grit, that's entitlement. That's softness masked in gold leaf helmets and history books. It sends the message to every other program in the country that if we don't show up, we'll just pout. If we won't show up, then we don't care. That's cancer for competitiveness. That kills tradition more than any shady ranking system ever could. This was petty, emotional, a misstep, and not a statement. If Notre Dame, a program with history, resources, and recruiting power, could just bail when things don't go their way, what does that say about every smaller school busting their ass, playing embarrassed, and grinding for scraps? It says nothing matters. It says that legacy is everything and that history is everything. And that's total fucking bullshit. I don't care if you bleed blue and gold. I don't care if you're loyal to the Shamrock. This isn't about hate. This is about respect. Respect is earned by showing up, not by walking away. Notre Dame's 2025 season wasn't championship caliber. Their record was soft, their struggles were real, and their bowl decision was a punch in the teeth delivered in slow motion. And if you call yourself a fan, be honest. The opt-out move wasn't brave, it wasn't bold, it was pouty, entitled, and soft. If you love college football, if you love the grind, the fight, the underdog, You should find this bullshit insulting because this isn't the fight anymore. It's a sad little tantrum with a storied nameplate. Let's hope 2026 brings better. Until then, call a spade a spade. Notre Dame's brand hasn't defined its legacy this year. It's been shoved in a closet, they turned out the lights, and they walked away. The wax and slab lag is next. Let's talk about why Topps Chrome SpongeBob cards are a joke for investors. So listen up. This SpongeBob card hype train is full of glitter, nostalgia, and wishful thinking. But it's all built on fucking sand. If you seriously think that these cards are a smart investment, you're sleepwalking into a bag of disappointment, into a world of fucking pain. Okay? The wins are rare and extremely fragile. Yes, I've seen the headlines from a month ago with the triple auto SpongeBob Chrome 1 out of 1 sold for $21,000 and change. Great. Cool. That's the fucking exception. That's not the rule. Okay? It's a freak outlier. The rest, most cards, even numbered parallels, sketch cards, rare art inserts, they're trading for far less. And I mean, sure, some sketch auto pulls got some hype, but that's pure lottery money. That's 1 in 100,000 odds. You don't build a stable investment on maybe I get the unicorn odds. That isn't even gambling. I don't even know if that's flipping, and it's definitely not investing. Okay? That's the problem with these nostalgia-driven pop culture cards. Once the hype fades, and it always does, you're left holding a worthless piece of cardboard. SpongeBob is not Pokemon. Do not treat it as such. The supply floods are already hitting, and dilution is going to happen. When 2025 Chrome SpongeBob drop came out, everything was great. People were hitting the parallels, the sketch cards, the autos, the low numbers. But here's the problem. The moment you release hundreds and thousands of these units and people start pulling these out of, hobby boxes, value boxes, promos, the scarcity starts to evaporate quickly. Prices have already spiked on resales, but sellers and resellers are flooding the market with supply. That means any notion that these are going to appreciate is bullshit, okay? As soon as collectors decide they're done, prices are going to crater. SpongeBob is not Disney. It's not Pokemon. It's not sports, okay? Once all these 1 of 5s out of 10s out of 25s have been purchased by collectors, the rest become common and worthless. The value right now is driven by fad and not fundamentals, okay? SpongeBob works because it hits nostalgia and pop culture. Nothing inherently stable or timeless on a wide collector market or scale even. Compare that to classic sports, vintage cards, Pokemon, Disney. They have historical or performance-based foundations. They have iconic seasons. They have rarity from age. And SpongeBob cards have memes, show moments, and trendy collectors hoping to cash out. But when the trend dies, and it will, what's left? A big stack of flashy cards with no long-term grounding. And the value, quote unquote, that these have right now is propped up by hype, not fundamentals. Okay? Every hype-driven set, SpongeBob, Marvel, Star Wars, they all attract thousands of people looking to get rich quick. And that means supply dumping and oversaturation. The moment demand slows down, it's going to become a race to unload before the bottom drops. Get out while you can, if you have any at all. We've seen this pattern over and over and over again. And right now, SpongeBob's dead in the middle of it. The moment fewer people are buying, these rare cards start looking a lot like overpriced stickers. If you want to buy a few for fun, sure. Fine. Have at it. If you want to chase a unicorn, I guess go for it. But treat it worse than gambling. Because if you're thinking this is going to be a long-term, scalable collectible that appreciates over time, you're fucking lying to yourself. Real investment and real investing is finding value based on scarcity, real demand, history, and fundamentals. SpongeBob Chrome, it's built on hype, memes, nostalgia. That's not the same. That wraps up the episode. You know what to do. Smash all the buttons. Tell your moms and your aunties. Philly out, y'all.